Lately, life in the financial markets is bustling, and the number of traders is growing every day. Naturally, this creates great opportunities for earning, but it also creates high risks. And all because there are those who speculate on this, profiting from the inexperience of newcomers. Many people fall for the tricks of manipulators, which naturally leads to financial losses and a loss of confidence. Yes, friends, we are all susceptible to misinformation, and at every turn we can encounter surprises. In today's episode, I propose that we conduct a trading session in which I will share with you strategies that will help you recognize market manipulations, show you key points, and also give advice on how to protect your positions and naturally increase your chances of profit. So, friends, let's start trading. I have connected the indicators and the noise. As for Kenkyuyo and Bollinger lines, I will tell you about the settings of these indicators later. Let's now move on to the first trade. I will help you understand the logic of the strategy and explain its main signals. Look, we are opening the first long trade, naturally, entering on a bullish breakout. The green line, clouds and noise indicate a potential rise in the asset. The left Bollinger also confirms this movement, forming a mouth with a rebound from the oversold zone of this currency pair, Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. We are now trading with you an indicator, quite complex to understand, but I will try to simplify its perception for you. Today, look at the Ichimoku method. I've chosen two types of lines to make orientation easier. The others are also useful, but with these indicators, you can work effectively and earn in the market. The place for practice is quite suitable. It was just now. Usually after such a sharp breakthrough, we can expect further price growth. Although it may be insignificant, it nevertheless provides us with an opportunity to earn in the short term. Look, I am trading now on a 1 minute time frame, and the duration of my contracts is also 1 minute. Excellent. First, there is profit on the balance. Let me show you how I will set up the indicators today. First, you need to go to the section of all indicators and accordingly enable them in the trading terminal. I will mark a star to make it easier for you to find the indicators I am using today in the trading strategy. So look, in the Ichimoku indicator, I practically didn't change anything, just removed unnecessary parameters in its current style. This is actually a really interesting indicator, and there is already a review of it on my channel. The settings are like this. Today we are focusing only on its two lines, the last and the second to last, then I adjusted. Bollinger, the indicator of the video oscillator, is presented today. It will help us recognize moments of overbought and oversold conditions of the asset. These are the periods today, 5 and 2. This will help us increase the sensitivity of the indicator on smaller time frames. This will be an excellent moment overall. To make money, I'll look for another place where I can show you different entry conditions. Let's go. So guys, look, according to the Ichimoku trading system, it is generally not recommended to trade when the price is inside the cloud, because this may indicate that the market is in a flat phase during consolidation. But now we will open a trade for an increase because it is obvious here that the price is aiming for this T area, since it has previously passed this place. As a result, a reversal with a rather dynamic impulse was formed. The buyer's support level created also a dynamic price deviation, and likely traders anticipate potential for further growth and have opened active buy positions. At this moment, this part slightly protrudes forward and it reflects past fluctuations, but the indicator is designed precisely for us to understand in which zones the potential levels of interest are located, which the assessment may strive for the trend. Therefore, here is a long trade. I wanted to talk to you about trends. I noticed a trend that beginner traders today are offered a variety of different courses, strategies, promising quick earning. All these people assure that soon you will be able to quit your job, change your life for the better. In general, with the development of social networks, such marketing techniques are becoming more and more widespread. They catch, let's say, those newcomers on the hook and exploit their greed and desire for easy and quick income. I took my profit. Now I will be revealing to you, so to speak, America and a new position. I have already mentioned before that it's not worth entering the market. When are the candles in the Ichimoku cloud? But now we see a growing momentum and the price won't stay in the cloud for long. Most likely it will move out of it. So I assume that with ease, we will earn together. In the next trade, more movement. has already been made. Only a perfect exit remains in the future. Overall, the pattern clearly shows that the line is forming a reversal. By the way, color also matters. Green is definitely an indicator of bullish movement in the market. Returning to the topic, I want to say that I once was among those who fell for the tricks of people who prey on inexperienced traders. So in general, don't blame yourself. If you also became a victim, the main thing to keep in mind is that the promise of financial freedom is not as truthful as it seems. It's like navigating through a minefield. If you don't have the necessary tools, so to speak, and the desire to develop, you won't come out unscathed. Watch. The price is trying to break out of the Ichimoku cloud. The green line indicates that buyers do not want to linger at this price level. That's why we open such a position. It closes perfectly where we need it, breaking through nicely. 157 on the balance. Wonderful. So, friends, I've heard many stories about traders who spent exorbitant amounts on golden advice and dubious courses in trading. People trust others' assumptions about high earnings. But in reality, all of this doesn't turn out very well. In general, I do not approve of this entire infrastructure and try to protect uninformed people from traps. Our previous trade is in the positive, and overall, the session is going well. As you noticed, I use only 2 signals as guidelines. I monitor the direction of their curves, but right now all the conditions are a bit different. Pay attention to the chart. I will quickly draw everything for you now. Look, here we see the entry into the Ichimoku cloud. Then the levels are gradually going down. This allows us to determine that the resistance level is getting lower, 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 lower with each step. You are probably thinking, in our capitalist world, it's impossible to do without selling anything. I, as a blogger, am also in the same ranks, myself. But friends, I am not selling anything. I just need to receive compensation from you for the time I spend on creating educational materials and answering your questions. For me, the most valuable resource, I honestly tell you, is your activity on my channels. I do not use deceptive advertising tricks. I do not promise you quick success in the markets and do not deceive people regarding real facts. Friends, I am already earning almost $300. I hope you have grasped the essence of this trading combination. Let's look for more currency pairs with favorable, so to speak, conditions for opening positions. Let's go. A very good upward movement is building. The price is completing consolidation and possibly exiting the sideways channel. We are definitely trading long here. We might see activity among buyers. Therefore, look, even in the Bollinger, it is visible that a slope of movement is forming. When the curve reaches the lower boundary, it becomes clear that the price is oversold, and it bounces off the support level. A strong signal in the Ichimoku system is the crossing and dominance of the green line over the brown one. The cloud indicates that the trend has updated the last low and increased the high. The price clearly bounces off these levels. When I open a contract, I try to be as close to them as possible. Yes, it's gorgeous, really. Friends, I have another recommendation for you. If you find a suitable mentor or resource, remember, it's important to be selective. Judge people by how much they are willing to do for you for free, not by what they promise in a day. This is important enough to show. So, it seems this is a return, roughly speaking. Although I think it will actually benefit me. Friends, it's not so bad. I will stick to the same trading strategy. I will reopen. Long. The situation didn't quite work in my favor, as the asset is still consolidating and significantly bouncing off its levels. Currently, there is sideways movement, which in principle should continue like this. The price is being heavily pressured from both sides. Now, volatility might drop, of course, but we will profit on the rebound. I think this time we will profit. You see, because the signals are still long. This is consolidation. It will end with a breakout upwards. My mistake was that I didn't take into account entered the trade too early before this. So friends, about people's judgment and how to properly choose your information field, let me give you an example on myself, on my face. I created my own, played the trading channel out of pure enthusiasm, striving to tell you how everything works here. I never planned to charge money for this, to charge for my materials, because I keep most of the information fully accessible for free. No matter what I say there, I don't sell anything at all, but my interest lies in uniting different layers of traders and helping everyone to earn absolutely. I don't charge for participation in the marathon. You don't pay me any percentage of the amount you earn. Really, nothing at all. My interest is purely enthusiasm and passion. Thus, I am simply motivated for you to close your trading week with maximum profit. Let's change the currency pair, as I don't really like how things are developing here at the moment. Friends, the candles have exited the lower cloud, but note that the breakout is quite weak. As we know, usually after exiting, the price tends to return, and this time I will open a short contract here. Look, the Ichimoku is forming a significant convergence of the lines. This indicates to us that the trend is under pressure from sellers. Although their energy is weak, the influence on the market is still quite significant. So far, that is, we are now observing a false breakout, after which the price will go down. In Bollinger, we have the curve bouncing off the lower area, but persistently striving back towards it. That is, the period is quite short. Now we have Bollinger. We will see quite often such deviations. Let's return to the topic. The problem for most people is that they are looking for an easy and quick entry into financial freedom. However, there is no practice. Surely you know someone who got caught up in the idea of making money quickly, but in the pursuit of instant profit, they usually just lost their money. For example, the story of a trader who invested all his savings in popular but an unfounded trading method, and this led him to bankruptcy. This is the most banal situation that could happen, friends. Great. We were able to earn again, maybe not as confidently, but I still analyzed and determined the necessary price deviation. Let's continue with other currency pairs. Friends, if you remember, the picture now reminds us of the very first deal of today's session. I am opening a long position because I see 3 volume candles. They are very strong in their dynamics, and this is the first condition for entry. Next, we look at the Ichimoku, and again we have a buy signal formed in the Bollinger. The curve is directed upwards, bouncing off the lower area. This also works in our favor. Let's analyze the courses offered by these unscrupulous, let's say, people. Essentially, they are useless, and most of the information contained in them is available in open access on the internet, including on my channel. Moreover, these courses can harm you not only financially, but also make your trading illogical and incorrect. Because of this, you will have to retrain and find new ways to develop in trading, which is definitely not an easy task, friends. The tense situation is once again heating up, strongly bouncing off the tours, yet everything is still in our favor. Excellent. It was very close, but the signals definitely worked for us this time. Friends, let's open a contract somewhere else. For clarity, for now, we won't take risks here. The volatility is not as high as it should be. An important point is that in trading, you need not only knowledge, but also an understanding of your strategy, an understanding of the psychology of the market and your own emotions, which will follow you throughout all trading sessions. Friends, we are opening a long position, considering that the trend is forming an upward movement, and there is also a strong rebound. After that, the resistance level was broken again. Next, we see the same pattern in the Bollinger indicator. The curve is again at the lower mark, from which it will now go up, as this is a support level. In the Ichimoku indicator, the green line is positioned at the top, and it indicates the continuation of the price increase. Here, the signals are unambiguous. In general, look, there are plenty of suitable materials on development topics, but it's important to choose quality sources of information. I recommend studying books such as Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets by John Murphy, The Alchemy of Finance by George Soros. Read them, it will be very useful They will help you lay a solid foundation of knowledge, so to speak, and understand the basic principles of trading. In addition, thematic blogs and video channels like those on YouTube can be useful. In them, or rather, many people share really cool life hacks. My goal is solely to provide beginners like you with the right balance between free knowledge and those that can lead you to real earnings, to your cherished goal. The path to successful trading definitely requires time and patience, but every effort you make will only benefit you. I will open now a contract for an increase again, since the Bollinger line, its curve, has reached the minimum value. And now it has turned around, which is what I told you when opening the previous deal. This is a strong signal that has now completed the whole situation. So let's say here in page buy and Ichimoku, we see the same signal as the previous time. Therefore, everything is great. We are waiting for growth and hopefully earnings to my balance, and we balance. Another important factor, friends, of being in the trader community is that it can become a great support for you. That is a strong community, because joint discussion of matters, exchange of information is just the best when you can share live some news, so to speak, and be as informed as possible. I recommend you join my Telegram channel. The link to it is left in the description. There you can write to me, chat with me, my partners, and so on. Friends, great. The growing green candle gives me maximum confidence that the closure here will be perfect in my favor. Well, what else can be said? Simply, this was the last contract for today. I am finishing trading. Let's move on to reviewing the results of this trading session. So, friends, I will have a few words now. Today I shared with you an excellent trading system with which you can try yourself in the market, open a demo account, test your skills there, and only then move on to real trading with real money. I hope I was able to help you at least a little to avoid some failures and choose the right path. If this video was useful to you, be sure to hit the like button, click the bell, and also don't forget to subscribe. The link to my YouTube and my Telegram channel is left in the description of this video. I look forward to seeing you in my next analyses and new releases. I wish you lots of profit, goodness, and peace overhead. See you soon. Goodbye, everyone.